Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ollie here. I think this one will definitely be useful for some of you guys. This is an hour-long training I did with a local business group. Hope you enjoy it. If you did, please go ahead, hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Wicked. So today I wanted to go over systems. Putting systems in place in my business have actually made it into a business rather than me being a glorified freelancer, which I was for at least a year when I started my business. It was all well and good having all of these clients, but because I didn't have certain systems and softwares in place, I was, probably working more than I did when I was working a 9 to 5. So I just wanted to go through a couple of things. So what is a system? A system is a procedure, process, method of course or action to achieve a specific result. So creating effective business systems is the only way to attain results that are consistent, measurable, and ultimately benefit customers. So the first thing I want to talk about is Trello mastery. So I know we sort of touched on Trello a little bit, but what I wanted to do in this live session was just to show you exactly how I use Trello, just to basically give you some inspiration on how you can use it. So the first way that I use Trello is something I like to call my perfect day. And everyone will have a different perfect day in their own head. But I personally like to use it for this, just to really try and like map my days out. And I call it my perfect day because obviously this isn't exactly what my days look like every single day, but this is just something I like to have. So this is a separate board, and it's just called Olley's weekly planner. And then I like to have like my daily routine. Like I said before, this is like my perfect day. So this isn't every single day, but this is ultimately what I'm trying to get every single day to look like for me. So, like 6:30, I wake up. 6:30, I do my morning routine. 7 o'clock, coffee and a book and learning. 8 o'clock, I plan my day or review my day because I like to try and write all of my to-do list out the evening before. And for me, my business model, my three main tasks that I need to do, and personally, I think this is three main tasks for every single business is, get meetings on my calendar. Number two is get results. And number three is build systems. My whole business can survive and thrive off of just these three basic principles because I need, I need to get meetings to get new clients. So an hour gets focused on getting meetings. Number two is getting results. So obviously I can't keep clients if I'm not getting them any results. So that is the second principle. And number three is building systems. There's no way that I could scale my business if I'm constantly working on certain clients and, always doing the same task. So number three is obviously building systems around getting these results to essentially allow me to bring on more and more clients. And then I have a break, and then I obviously like to have a thing for Instagram stories. So to push me to put an Instagram story out. And then I repeat the process because that is literally all I need to focus on is one, getting meetings, getting results, and building systems. And then obviously I like to put like my meal and stuff in there. Like I said before, this is a basic outline of just like what I like to do. And then you got video creation, get meetings again, get results. 6 p.m. I like to go to the gym or train outside at this moment in time. And then 7 o'clock, I like to put my blue light blockers on. I'm very much so like a biohacker. I like to try and like, I don't know what the specific word for it is, but I'm really trying to like key down on my sleep. So putting like the blue light blockers on at 7 o'clock, it reduces the blue lights from your phone, TV, and stuff like that. And it just like basically gets you ready for bed. And this is just like my day to day, but I definitely recommend you planning out like your perfect day because it's always something to look back on. If you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day, you can come to this and just sort of see, okay, yeah, I checked these stuff off today. And then I like to have like my deep work block. So this is basically what goes on within these little sections. So like the get meetings, you can see I've got my work block one here, which is get meetings. And that's actually what I do within that deep work. So these are all of the steps that I know will essentially get meetings into my calendar. So these are all of the steps I personally need to take within that hour to get meetings into my business essentially.
Sorry, can I just ask you something? What's a Loom
Course.
meeting?
A what? Sorry, a loom.
Loom meeting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so perfect question. So with me, I'm pretty much like reaching out to businesses, obviously talking about social media management, right? So that's a really good question actually, because I'd love to show you live, for example, something. And let's just use Jane as a great example, right? Um, Jane, do you just go ahead and just send me your website quickly, just in the chat? If I found like a potential customer of mine, right, and I wanted to reach out to these guys, obviously everyone receives like cold emails and stuff like that. So I like to just be a little bit different. What I would then do is I would come up to here, which is this is Loom up here, this little Chrome extension, and you can find this by just going to useloom.com. And for all of you guys, really, I think this is an essential tool. But you just click onto this. You can either do screen only or you can do screen and camera, which you'll see down here. I'm now going to show up down here as well. And I can just make that bigger. And then what I can basically do, and this is the only form of outreach that I personally do within my business, because everything else for me is like inbound leads, people coming to me. So if I find someone that I really want to work with, this is basically my process of reaching out to them. I would literally just hit start record, and then it will come down like this, and I would just be like, hey guys, hope you're well. I come across your website. I actually live in Blackfen, so I'm very much so aware of the Jolly Feminine. I've had a little look at the website. The main thing that I sort of noticed is you have your Twitter and your Instagram attached to the website, but you don't actually have your Facebook. And then I could go on to the fact that, my company runs Facebook ads for businesses to help them bring in new customers into their restaurants, right? For example, and then you could just say, you could literally do this as you're recording the screen as well. You could be like, oh, so when I have a look on Facebook for the Jolly Feminine, like you guys do appear, but there's a couple of different pages, so it's not really clear which one you guys are using. So this is a great example because they've got two different Jolly Feminines, and it's like, which one do you guys use? Also, make sure that you actually have this linked in your website as well, so people go into the right place. And you could just go looking down this as well and say, okay, so look, you guys are being active on this Facebook site, user uploading videos, but you haven't got it linked to your website. And then what you could do is you could just stop that, but you could obviously leave like a call to action. So you could be like, if you wanted us to help you out with the website or the Facebook, feel free to reach out to me on, XYZ, and you can stop that. And now what this is going to do is it's actually going to give you that screen recording, but then it's just by a link. So what I could then do is I could reach out to these guys and just literally say, hey guys, I noticed a couple of things with your website. I just recorded a quick video for you to explain a couple of things. Is this the best place to send it? That's usually what I like to do. And then they'll reply like, yeah, this is a great place to send it. And I can just copy this link, send them that link. And then it's a lot more personal because, it's literally me walking through their business, pointing out the flaws and showing them ways that they can improve it. Does that make sense?
It's so cool.
It's literally, it's so good because it gives that personal touch. And just to get back on the thing, it's so good because it gives that personal touch, and
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And because you don't have to upload the file as well, you can literally just send them a link. It's so powerful. And once you have that sort of system in place, I could then go to 5-10 different businesses and just say, hey guys, I recorded you a video, not actually recorded the video, if that makes sense. It's a bit like, it's a bit like throwing
it's a bit like a teaser.
Yeah, it's a bit like, well, because I have that process, I know that the video is only going to take me 4 minutes or 4 to 5 minutes. I like to keep them 4 to 5 minutes, give them a little introduction about me, my business, how I could help them, and then always not push, but like say, like if you want to discuss it more, then like let's arrange like a call. Because I'm giving them so much value. And that really wasn't the best example because the only main thing that I could find is like their Facebook wasn't on their website. But I'll have some people and they'll have like no information about their business, or a great
like
thing,
mine, so that's quite a good one.
yeah, but it's little things as well. So like for these guys, for example, obviously at the moment we're in at the time we're in at the moment is like, obviously no one's probably going to be running ads they're not going to be running ads on the Jolly Feminine account, because obviously they can't have anyone in there. But what I would personally do now is I could come onto here and I could see, I've got like a tool that allows me to see if they've got a Facebook pixel. And you can see that they've got a Facebook pixel installed. And one of the main things that I do when I'm looking for businesses to work with is I check to see if they've got a Facebook pixel installed on their website. And you can just see this here, that on loom.com, they haven't got a Facebook pixel. So it says no pixels was found on loom.com. And if you go onto the Jolly Feminine, you can see it's highlighted now and it says the Facebook pixel was found. So what I would personally do is I would then go onto their Facebook, and you can come down and you can click page transparency. And then you can see here, it says this page is not currently running any ads. So if these guys was running ads, it would simply say here, this page is currently running ads. And then I could actually go onto their library and it's going to show me the ads that these guys are running. So obviously me being my main service being I run Facebook ads for my clients, obviously it goes without saying again, obviously these guys are not wanting to run Facebook ads at the moment, but I could come onto here and just say, look guys, I noticed you had your Facebook pixel installed. That's really great, but I've noticed that you're not actually running any Facebook ads. Is there any specific reason why? And then obviously that sort of lights the fire with these guys, and they might get back to me and say, yeah, you know what, we have thought about running some Facebook ads, but we just don't know how to do them properly. And that's just something that I can personally do to get them to come back to me, essentially. But obviously, James.
Can you like personalise that for anything then? So say if we was looking, obviously at 24/7 was looking when I do get time to look for new customers, could you do that on like a bit of your own PowerPoint of showing what your business does and stuff like that?
Of course, yeah.
Projects we've done in the past, we think this would be good for you, blah, 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 and then just send that to them.
Yeah, you like literally you can customize these however you want. I could literally do what we're doing on this Zoom call, but I could do the exact same thing but with Loom, and then I could reach out to businesses and say, look, you haven't got these systems in place, you know, and this is something that we could set up within your business. So you can literally use it for anything. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways that I use Loom for other ways in my business as well. But that's the main way that I use Loom. So yeah, cool. We went through the perfect day. The next one I wanted to show you was my content calendar using Trello. So if you come back onto here, you can go onto boards and you can see that I've got a load of different ones set up. So next one is content calendar. This is just something I like to have set up that basically maps out all of my content for my social media. So I have a very basic like template. So it's like Monday motivation, free tip Tuesday, polarizing content, throwback Thursday, personal on Friday, story Saturday, and share Sunday. And then obviously you can see all the examples. So it's like give your ideal followers a dose of motivation, give your audience 3 tips that they can implement to see success in XYZ immediately, post a strong comment, post a strong opinion that you have about a topic related to your brand and why, and you know, keeps going on and going on and going on. So now what you can do is you can come into here and you can sort of like map out what you're going to speak about on your Instagram straight away. So Monday motivation, for example, I could come onto here and I could plan out like the next couple of Mondays from it. So I could say, you know, how I got 3 clients using only Facebook, or you know, how I used freelancer websites to connect with a Forbes nominated businessman or something along those lines. And then obviously when I come back and I look for Monday, I can just literally go, okay, so I'm going to speak about how I got 3 clients using only Facebook today. And then the next Monday I could go, okay, so today I'm going to talk about how I used freelancer websites to connect with a Forbes nominated businessman. And this way you can just plan everything out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And
So,
this
so
way,
is that a free thing as well? Content Cow.
this is, yeah, it's completely free. This is just how I've personally mapped this board out. And you can just replicate this very easily.
With regards to Trello, Olley got us on Trello a while ago, me and obviously and Craig, because you can share it as well with other people. So he can put notes in when I'm at the office, and then I can pick up notes from there, and then vice versa. Yeah. So the next part we wanted to go on to was Team Planner. So this is how you can use it for managing your team. And this, I call this my virtual office. I know that when I come into here, this is where all of my business lays essentially. So the next one I'd want to go before actually I talk about the team manager is my CRM. So I don't know if you guys use a CRM in your business, but this is basically my process of how I get a potential client all the way down into becoming a client here in Deal Closed. So these are all leads from my virtual assistant. He finds all of these clients from Upwork and other websites we use. And then you can see that he drops them into here. And then it's basically my job to go into these people. And you can see that he's put this up here for me. So I can just click onto it. I can see the job posting these guys have put up. So they've put this up. The perfect candidate will be able to plan, create and post content on all social media platforms for us. Okay, cool. So he's actually sent the website here as well. So what I would do is I would just open up a new tab. I would go to their website. And of course, you've got it already. I would then send these guys a personalized Loom video. And I would just say, I'd say, hi gardens to cash, or I would personally try to find out like the owner's name. And then I would create a Loom video and I would just say, just literally going through his website. And I'd say, my assistant actually sent me your job posting that you put on Upwork. I just wanted to reach out to you guys. I've had a little look through the website. I've had a little look on Instagram. And obviously, I've noticed that you guys are, you aren't posting consistently. You haven't posted since the 14th of March. And since before that, you posted on the 14th of March as well. And then, you haven't got like a solid strategy in place for the social media. So then I would say, I'd love to arrange just like a quick call just to speak a little bit further about what it is you're looking to be done within this job. And then I could just basically send that to those guys, because I obviously already know that these guys are actively looking for someone to basically get help with social media. And this way I haven't got to go to this way I haven't then got to go to a client and basically, one, persuade them that they need social media, but two,
they're asking for it.
Like, because these are warm leads for my business. So that's why this way works so well for me personally. But that way makes it so much more personal that I send them a Loom video rather than just emailing them. Oh, I see you put out a job posting for social media. And then what I basically do from here, you can see that I would then take this person from here into contact made. So then I can click into this tab and I could just type OT and I would say, sent them a Loom video explaining what we do and asked him to book in a call. Okay, so then I could save that, and then obviously I could just keep dragging this down. So if he replies to this email and says, sure, let's book in a call, I would say, okay, cool. And then I've already sent my Loom, so I'd say straight through into meeting arranged. And then obviously I could say, okay, he replied, and we have booked in a call for tomorrow, for example. And then obviously the process is I'm just trying to bring him all the way down. So negotiations started, deal closed. These are obviously a new client for me now. And you can also use like all of the labels and stuff in here. So I could obviously change him to green because he's now like an active client. Does that all make sense? Is there anything I've sort of missed out?
It's really cool.
This way will save so much lives as well, because this way, you know that you might speak to potential customers and then they sort of drop off. So then what you can basically do is, if you're continuously working on this day to day, then you might have, you know, all of these people in here that have shown interest. And it's like, okay, why would I then speak to all of these people when I know that these 4 individuals have already shown interest in the service?
Concentrate on them.
Yeah. So I would concentrate on these people, and then, you know, I'd make sure that I follow up with these guys first, but then I can go work my way down the list and say, okay, I've made contact with these. Let me follow up with these guys. And obviously, same with all of these ones. I then start reaching out to all of these and basically just bring them down my CRM. So yeah, that's the best way to use it as a CRM. It's really easy like that. The next way I wanted to show you is my actual workflow. So this is how I use it within my business as like an actual virtual office. Like I said before, this is my board for my virtual assistant. So what he can basically do is I give him access to this. So you can see at the top, you can see his picture, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
And that all that basically means is he's got access to this board, so he can see everything on this board. So I like to have this bit here. So I start here, and then you have new team member training, and I have new team member. This all details that you can get in here. But then I like to have my VA onboarding videos. So if you click onto this, you've got my Upwork apply training, and then you've got all of the methods that I teach this guy. What basically, like, everything that I get him to do is something that I've done in the past, if that makes sense. It's the thing that I had spent the most time on, that it was driving results into my business. And obviously you guys just see me use Upwork. So my foundation of my business is I need to apply to at least 10 jobs on Upwork every single day. So the reason I do that is because, like me and Jane just said, those guys are warm leads. These are people that are actively looking for the service that I provide. So it's going to be so much easier for me to reach out to those guys because they're already looking for it. But that's also something that I personally don't really have to do. So what I've done, and you can see that this is 56 minutes long, but I recorded myself doing exactly what I want my VA to be doing on a daily basis. And it's very basic. Like, it's literally just copy and pasting, like, my cover letter, my past experiences, etc. And I've recorded this in a Loom video. Hey guys, thank you for spending the next couple of minutes with me. So in this video, I just want to show you exactly how to be scheduling your time and what you should be focusing on. Won't load there. So yeah, that's an hour video of me training this guy how to do it. But the reason I've done it like this is because, you know, I hired my VA on Upwork. So I've recorded this training once, but now in a week's time, if my VA turns around to me and says, look, Olley, unfortunately, I can't work for you no more. You know, I've got X, Y, Z. I've got to do this. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. Because I have this training here, I could go find another VA and just send them straight to this link. And they've got all of the training to be up to scratch to where my VA before was been, if that makes sense. So this way, I haven't then personally got to get on a call with them every single time I hire someone. I could just send them to this portal essentially, where they've got all of my training to be able to do the job that I need them to do. Another way that I use this is the recurring tasks. So these are the tasks that he has to do every day. And, you know, you can see the ones here. So 10 Upwork outreach, let Olley know of any inbound leads, and update the CRM. So the CRM is what I showed you before. So his job is to essentially put these potential clients into this box for me. And then if you go back onto here, you can see that he actually has to come in here every day and just check these off. So it basically lets me know that he's done, you know, what I'm essentially paying him to do. And, you know, they're very basic tasks, what I get him to do. So he only works for me 2 hours a day, Monday to Friday.
So how much do you have to pay him for those 2 hours?
How much do I pay him?
Yeah, for those 2 hours.
I pay him $5 an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. And he's awesome, but I trained him. Like, I've trained.
So how long? I missed that bit. How long does he work for you for?
2 hours. 2 hours a day.
2 hours a week.
2 hours. 2 hours a day, Monday to Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but that's this is the thing with like the online space is I couldn't get my head around that for like not years, but easily a year or so. But certain tasks like that, I would spend hours and hours and hours a day doing like the same repetitive tasks, but you know, they drive business into me. So of course I wanted to do, but it's also like, okay, but that was taking me an hour, 2 hours a day. Why don't I just get someone else to do that? Obviously for $5 a day, what does that work out to be? You know, what, $25 a week or something? It's like $100 a month, and he's reaching out to 10 businesses a day.
And recording it all.
Yeah, and if I get one client from that, obviously that's paid for his service, right, straight away.
Yeah.
So that is like the biggest system, and that's also
but that's 50 people a week you're reaching out to, isn't it?
And they're all warm. They already want what I offer.
Yeah.
So that's why that's so solid. And as well, he's so grateful. Like ever since I've worked online, I've honestly managed to work with some amazing people, and a lot of the people are usually from the Philippines. I like to hire from the Philippines because they are amazing people. I'll be completely honest with you. I've had people that I work with from like all different countries, but the guys from the Philippines are incredible. Like their English is great. Honestly, that's all I look for when I hire someone online, is that their English is great and they reply, like they're active. Because anyone I can train. We have Zoom available to us. We have Loom available to us. As long as they can speak good English and, you know, they're active, they're going to reply to me. I can train them to do everything that I need them to do within the business. And it's great as well because a lot of them are so appreciative. Like I remember when I was working, I was still working full time, and I hired a lady, Angelica, her name was. We're getting a bit deep and emotional now, but obviously my company is called Design a Future, right? And she had been working for me for about 2 months, doing simple graphic design, which I taught her how to do. She was doing like outreach for me, and she messaged me when I was in the gym once, and she literally messaged me. This is how cringy this is going to sound, but she messaged me saying, "Olley, you literally have designed the future. You've allowed me." Yeah, she messaged me saying that, and she went, "You've allowed me to put my my daughter through nursery." And I was just like, what? Like it really like tied everything together for me. Like, yeah, it was really weird. It was really strange. Obviously for me, I'm thinking, what, like you're doing all of this work for me for like you know, but for them,
really,
but you know, but for them, like it is like a solid thing for them guys. And you know, I think 1 month as well, like she absolutely smashed it. So I literally sent her like £100, and it was like, she was like, what? She was like over the moon by it. But for me, like she had been putting in so much work, and obviously with the whole online thing, there's just so much capability to it. Sorry, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but that's a good little story for you. This is this is like my portal. I use this as my virtual office for literally everything. A good thing on here as well is I like to have like my service walkthrough. So for social media management, I have everything. I have the exact process that a new client goes through when they sign up with us guys. So they have that automated onboarding, they have a strategy call, they have a branding facelift. We go through market research, do the content blueprint forum, content production meeting, obviously filming, creation, editing, finalizing, publishing, scheduling, repurposing, and then traffic and funnels. So why I like to have this is I can then come onto here and I can just go onto here and I can just hit copy, and then I can just hit create a card. And now you can see this has created a new one from this. So now if I come onto here and I could just rename this as, let's use Amy as an example. Amy, new client. Amy, new client. So now I know that with Amy as the new client, we need to go through an automated onboarding. We need to do the strategy call, and I can tick these things off so I know where this new client is within the business. Plot twist. Now what I could also do is I could add my VA into this card. So he's now active in this card, and I could just say in the description or in the activity down here, I could just go at Garrett, blah, blah. You can see like the filming creation. You will need to create the 20 posts for this client I have just sent you a Loom video explaining everything. And now he's going to get a notification of that. I'm going to delete it because he'll probably be like, what's this about? He'll then get a notification that he's been added to this. And obviously he can come and he can look and he'll go, oh, okay, so we're on the filming, we're on the creation process part of the, of the service. So like obviously I've explained, he now needs to go to do the 20 posts for the client. And obviously I have systems in place that I don't even now have to speak to him. Obviously I do, but barely. I barely even have to speak to him to start recording this again. But once you have that in place, it's going to be so much easier for you to just start taking the stress off of your shoulders with certain tasks. Another great thing to do as well is if you come onto here and you can actually see like my client folder. So if you click onto here, I've got below it the link. Oh, sorry. So if you go onto here, this is all of the stuff that he has access to. If you go onto here, you can see you've got some of my client folders. So these are only the clients that he participates in, not like he does work for. So I just like to keep everything in one place. So he can click on client folder and it says below is the link to all of the clients folders with all of the content. Please update the new content in the correct folder. And if he clicks onto that, it's going to go on to like our client folder. And obviously these are stuff he needs for Upwork. But then if you actually click into here, you'll see all of the stuff for these guys. So it's got all of their content, and obviously he has access to this and I have access to it as well. So it just keeps everything in one place. So if I then go on to here, if I go back into here, for example, and say some of the tasks that he needs to do, I just say, upload meal teams content, for example, he's going to know that he can just come onto here, click meal team, go onto their Google Drive, find the content I'm talking about and go and complete that task. So then he can come back and just come onto here and he could just put like done, or he could even archive this because it's done. I would then know. It depends how you like what system you want to put in with these guys, but this is honestly a great way to keep everything. And you guys might be completely different. I mean, you will be completely different because our processes in our business will be completely different. But definitely start getting like your processes into Trello, so then you can see which one is taking up the most time. Someone's hammering something in the gardens. And yeah, the last way that I use this is my YouTube video workflow. This probably looks like a bit of a mumble jumble because I have so many different videos and stuff, but it might be good for you to see this as well. So basically how I use it with like the CRM, I have all of my video ideas. I actually have all my video ideas in a spreadsheet because I have some like main concepts I speak about. So I have like technology reviews, sales, building systems, making money online, how-to videos, payment gateway solutions, Zoom podcasts, Final Cut Pro, etc., etc. And then I have all of my ideas into here. And then what I like to do is once I'm ready to record those videos, I bring them down into here and I put them into my shortlist. So now I know that these are all of the videos that I'll be making this week. And then exactly the same how I do it with the CRM. When I'm ready to record or when I'm ready to plan this video, how to get clients on Instagram, leads coming to you, I'll come into here and I'll start planning the video based on this. So I can open this up and, like if I'm doing the intro, say like, hi, Olley here, etc., blah, blah. And then I can plan this whole video out, the intro, the body, the call to action. And then once I've done all of that, obviously I'm not showing you guys how to do like YouTube, but then obviously I personally do keyword research and then I put it ready to shoot, preparing to editing the video, obviously getting the thumbnail ready and ready for release. And it's just a process. I have a process for like everything that I do. So I know for a fact there's probably like 3 ways that you could start implementing some of this straight away into the business. Just go down. So yeah, knowing your system, that is basically what I was talking about, how I basically have I wrote down exactly the steps that when I get a new client, the steps I need to take them through to get results. So having that there, it lets him know exactly what steps we need to take, and it lets me know exactly what steps I need to take. And having it in that system, I can literally just copy and paste it and then have everything going for a new client straight away. Rather than me getting a new client and I'm like, okay, so I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. It takes the question out of it because it's literally there in black and white.
Do you use that in what you do for your clients?
We do use Trello a bit, not to the level that you're using it, Olley.
Okay.
I think the only thing is that I find that the people that I'm using it with aren't very proficient. That's my problem.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, because you could have each of your clients have their own boards that only they can see, upload pictures and
clients, But we could use this for BNI as well as the top table and stuff. But
yeah, we've got one for our chapter.
Okay, yeah. I honestly think I'm one of those that it's like, I honestly think that you should have everything in here, like everything, because once you have like multiple clients and well, let me get on to the next part and we'll just tie everything together, because this is the other thing I definitely recommend every one of you guys to use. Obviously that's why I've named it, why I think every business needs to use Slack. Have any of you guys ever heard of Slack before?
No.
Okay, cool. So Trello and Slack are honestly the main two systems, and Zoom as well. But Trello and Slack are the main two things that I would implement straight away, because it's just keeping everything in one place, and you want to keep your business tidy, right? This is what I like to think anyway. If you come down to the bottom, you can see Slack. If you click it open, and you can see, like, here's my VA I was talking about before. This is Garrett. So what I basically do is, or let me break it down actually a little bit further. So so Slack is just like a communication app. So essentially it's like WhatsApp, right? But what you can do is you can set a channel name, right? So I have my business here, DAF Global, and then you can see I've got all of these people in here. Obviously, Garrett's my VA. So you can see this is the only place I communicate with my team and my clients. When I sign up a new client into my business, on my onboarding, which we'll get into another session, in my onboarding, I am so clear to the fact that once we start a working relationship, if you email me or you text me or you WhatsApp me, you will not get a response. And that's just part of my business. And it's just because when I started, I would have my friends WhatsApping me. I would have clients WhatsApping me. I would have potential clients WhatsApping me. And then a client that's WhatsApping me would then send me something on email. And then he would then WhatsApp me saying, oh, did you see the email I sent you? And then he'd text me and then he'd ring me and say, oh, I sent you an email. Did you see the WhatsApp I sent you? And I'm like, where am I supposed to be looking, sort of thing. So a system that I put in place is, you will not get a response from me unless it's on Slack. And I know that sounds pretty harsh, but that's a system that I need to have in my business. So I haven't got clients WhatsApping me, then emailing me, then texting me, then phoning me, because they know, and I've told them that from the start of our relationship, look, the only way you're going to get a response from us guys is through Slack. It's 24/7. You can message us whenever, and my team will be in there. So if I personally aren't around to answer the question, my team can come in and respond to your questions. So like my VA, for example, Garrett, right? If you go on to like the meal team, and these are just channels. So this is one of my clients, meal team. So I've got these set up on a channel. So they speak to me only through this channel. And why that's so powerful is I can also add Garrett, my virtual assistant, into this chat, because then if they have questions that are around the service, obviously I can get him to respond to those questions, because obviously I'm paying him to do so. He's part of my business. But also then I'm sort of taking myself out of the business in a sense, right? Because he's the one doing that service, and he can answer those questions to that client without me having to go in. And obviously this is how I speak to him directly as well. And you can see, look, we was literally just talking about what he does for me. And you can see that he messages me at 11:51 done for the day, sent 10 outreaches and 1 lead on the CRM. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh, I can just say to him, okay, great. Have a nice day, man. And that's how I communicate with my team. That's very basic, but you know, he's then not going to WhatsApp me, Olley, just like I've done it, or he's not then going to ring me or try and get me on Skype to talk to him, because, you know, he knows it's clear what he needs to do on Trello. He's clear that I say to him, once you're finished, just drop me a message and let me know you finished. And that's it. You can see that I only speak to him. I only speak to him for a couple of minutes a day, unless I actually need us to do something different. And using this as well, you can literally do Loom videos on here. So if I have something specific I need him to do, I can literally just record a Loom video explaining what I need him to do and just send it to him straight in here. So powerful, guys. It's honestly so powerful. And looking back at the years that I didn't have something like this, it's sort of like frustrating to think that you'd have all of these different people messaging you, emailing you. Like, I would have like 20 clients at one point, like WhatsApping me, emailing me, and then saying, oh, did you see the logo I sent to you on your emails? I'm like, no, I've got 200 emails here. Like, I'm not going to be able to find that email. But if I say to them, look, all of our communication goes through Slack. Like, if you want me to see something or need me to see something, it needs to go through Slack. So with my business, obviously, if I'm getting one of my clients to create content, for example, one thing I like to say with all of my clients is, look, we do all of the content for you, but it's always good to get like that personal touch. So I say, make sure that you send us at least 10 to 15 pictures or videos throughout the month. So now when I have this set up, I haven't got to say to them, oh, can you email me some videos and some pictures? No, like they can just send it straight through Slack. What that's then also going to do is they can send it straight through to Slack. It's going to come up in here in the messages. And let me show you Skin Solutions, for example. So you can see here, look, these are some graphics we done for one of our clients, Skin Solutions, and I've sent them these to basically say, oh, like, what do you think? And they've just replied, thanks, Olley. Yeah, I like the second one. Should I post it? And that's the only way that I speak to these clients. I don't get that, you know, they're not emailing me. They're not WhatsApping me. Everything's through there. And what that also, like I said before, allows me to do is I can actually add my team into these chats. So, you know, if like, I'm going back to what I said before, but if I'm getting them to send me, you know, those 15 pieces of content, but then it's Garrett that's essentially going and then editing those pictures or editing those videos and then publishing the content, he can do that. Like, I genuinely haven't even got to be there, because he's there. He knows what he's got to do when they send the content. And honestly, like, Trello and Slack together are so key. Trello and Slack together will honestly, it's just a system that you need to have in the business, I think, personally. And Amy, even with like yourself, like, I bet you've got messages with Craig that he's like, I'm messaging you it, and then like you'll be like, oh, did you see the email or this that I sent you or something like that. Like, if you keep everything in Slack, it takes the questions out of it, because then, you know, you're not going from emails to WhatsApp to et cetera. And that's honestly,
that'd be good for us with our customers, because at the moment we've got so many different WhatsApp groups with different
and how
they can put their certain people, but then a construction company might have 4 different projects with 4 different groups for each project.
No.
And we go through so many WhatsApps, but that could be ideal, because then there's photos and all sorts can go on there as well. And
and honestly, like this, before, like, it used to stress me out so bad, because I literally, I had so many people messaging me on all these different platforms, and it's just so frustrating. But once you have it in here, like, I have like all my video editors in here, for example. Like, these are all just freelancers that I work with. And like, if I have something in here now, then I don't actually use this because I have a video editor now that does pretty much everything. But if I have like this built up with all my video editors, if I have something that needs editing, I can literally just come into here and just say, hi, is anyone around to edit this video for me quickly, blah, blah. And then, you know, these are all already obviously going to see all of that. And what you can do is you can come in and just add new channels for new clients. You can see I've got this on a different one. I used to do it a little bit differently, But if you come onto here, you can see that they've also got different channels within it. So obviously I run their social media for them. So if they click on social media, this whole chat is all about their social media. And you can see like this literally goes on since we started our relationship. And you can also message those people directly, which is really great. But then you can also set up different channels for different parts. Obviously, social media is the only thing I do for these guys. So I only need a social media channel. But in here, for example, if I have like DAF work, this is all of everyone that's in my team. But then obviously I can message all of these guys individually. So you can see how I'm just speaking personally with this Garrett. But then obviously you got like another girl I work with called Tammy. You can see that we're just personally talking in here. But if I had something that they both do together, I could have like a channel called like virtual assistants or something. And then I could have another channel for like my clients. Does that all make sense?
Is there like a limit to how much you can have on that one?
There is a limit. It's free. I can honestly say that I've used this for like here you go. On the free subscription, you can only view the 10,000 most recent messages. Obviously, 10,000 messages is like loads. So I've never
to build it up then, and then
and I've never paid for it, and I've used it for like 4 years. So I've never gone through 10,000 messages, put it that way. And I think that's only you can see it.
Is Trello free as well then?
Trello is free, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was the last bit. I just wanted to go through Slack, and then we're going to finish off with like a little Q&A. So if there's anything that sort of sparked something in you, you know, if you've got any questions around Trello or Slack, feel free to just we'll get it through.
So Olley, in terms of what you do for businesses then, is this how you promote people's businesses through doing social media for them? Is that what you do?
So I run a social media marketing agency. So our main two services is social media management, which is we post daily on their Instagram and their Facebook predominantly. Some of our clients do Twitter as well. I don't really personally use Twitter. I use Instagram and Facebook mainly. And then we do the ad side of things, so the marketing side of things, which is where we actually run like advertisements using Instagram and Facebook. So we do the design and marketing side of things.
And presumably you have a package or something that you do this, or is it different packages, or is it one price, or what is it?
It's all different packages, because obviously we have some clients that want to post like once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Some clients want to post like once a week. So it is really dependent on the client, to be honest with you.
Yeah, perhaps we could have a chat, because I could probably do with some of this myself, to be honest. So.
Sure, yeah, no problem. And so the best thing about all of this is that's obviously why I wanted to show you this as well, is, you know, there's certain things that like before, like I used to do all of this myself, and there was like a ceiling to where I could go personally as like a business, or as a freelancer, for example, because, you know, I think at one point I had 7 clients, and I didn't have any team members or anything like that. And it was amazing because, you know, I went from working full time to working for myself, but I was probably doing double the work at that time. And it was only when I sort of took a step back and I went, you know, this isn't going to work. You know, it's great. I'm working for myself. I'm earning, you know, a lot more than I did when I worked, you know, full time, but I'm now working like 20 hours a day and literally at my computer all day. So it's really turned me into like a systems and a processes guy, that I'm so data driven now that it's sort of like, okay, so I'm spending an hour on this a day, but it's not actually driving anything into the business. So yeah, hopefully that sort of helps. Ramp on. And any other questions, guys?
No, I'll definitely be getting onto Slack.
Yeah, Aim, you definitely need to get on Slack. It's a key.
Just replying to a load of like WhatsApps now from all different groups, and it would make our life a lot easier.
So while we're here and we've got all you guys, and we might as well just quickly finish it off with showing you, because it's all about systems, right? I think this would definitely help you guys out. While we're on the topic of systems, and I spoke about how, you know, I haven't got to do certain things now. let me just show you my onboarding funnel. So, excuse me. So we was talking about like when I sign up a new client, right? So let's say that my process, you guys have just seen it, right? So when I sign up a new client, I typically get them on a Zoom call and, you know, we speak about their business, X, Y, Z, you know, we agree like, you know, what we're going to do moving forward. I might send them over like the contracts. I've got my invoice paid. And then we're like, okay, so how do we move forward from here? So what I used to do, and this is what I'm saying about systems and softwares and processes you can put in place to automate certain parts of your business. What I used to do is I then used to say, okay, cool. So I've got all of the information from you, or sorry, no, you know, I now need all of this information from you. I've got like a form that you can go fill out. I'm going to get all of this data from you, and then we'll arrange a call for 2 days time, and we can go on to there and we can discuss, you know, what we're going to do moving forward. But now what I've set up is this. So when I sign up a new client now, I literally just send them this link, which is part of my website, and it's daftglobal.co.uk/onboarding. So as we've agreed, we're going to start working together. They'll come to this site, okay? And you can see it's part 1, what to expect from onboarding. And if I just play it for you.
Hi guys, and welcome to the onboarding system for Daft Global. We are super happy to be working with you.
So I won't bore you with that, but basically I'm just explaining like, look, we're super happy to be working with you guys. You're obviously a good fit for the service because I've already spoke to them on Zoom and we've already agreed everything. And they would go through this and it's like, please note the onboarding process takes around 30 minutes. Please leave adequate time for this. This is the most efficient marketing onboarding process you'll ever come across. And I can say that say it with my chest, if you like, because I spent a long time on it. But, you know, it also says it may take 30 minutes, but once this is done, it's done. No back and forth emails or stumbling for passwords across the line. Same again. I'm literally saying in these first 2 messages to these clients that you know, once you fill this out, you don't have to do any back and forth, any going back and looking at finding emails and logos, etc., etc. And they go to the next step. And then I like to have this in here. So me personally, we work on like a 90-day period. So when I sign up a new client, we usually say, I don't do contracts or anything like that, but we do a minimum of 3 months, 90 days. Just obviously with social media is like a lot of testing and a lot of trial and error. So I like to explain that 90-day period in this video so they know exactly what they can expect from me and exactly what I'll expect from them. And then they go to the next step and it says signing up your social media channels. So obviously my business, I run social media accounts for other businesses. So in this video, I'm literally walking through the exact steps that they need to take to give me access to all of the social media accounts. And then they go to the next step and guess what it is? It's signing up to Slack. So in this video, I'm saying from this moment on, you're going to sign up to your Slack channel. This is how you do it. I've got a screen recording showing them exactly how they sign up to Slack. And I just say, I explain in this video, look, from now on, you know, you're not going to get a response to emails, text messages, WhatsApps, etc., etc. Everything within the business and the service that we're providing will need to go through Slack. So from the offset, like this is a system that I put in place that I can almost guarantee that none of these clients are going to be emailing me, texting me, WhatsApping me, because I've literally said in their onboarding that we're only going to reply through Slack. And then if they go to the next step, they're going to get this bit, which is part 5, tell us about your audience. So this is where I'm going to get all of the data I was talking about. I've got an onboarding process questionnaire. So if they come to this, they just fill this out for me. So, you know, tell us about yourself, you know, Olley Media or something, and they can come fill this out. And this is a 9-page form. So it's got everything I need to know about their business, who their ideal client is, you know, who works for their business, how many staff members do they have, you know, how many days a week do they work, you know, what are their goals with social media, who are they trying to attract with social media, what graphics do they like, who are they inspired by, who are their competitors. I get all of this information in this 30 minutes. So instead of me having to spend an hour on Zoom call, so guys, like, who are your competitors? You know, who do you look up to on social media? Like, all of this is automated on my end. So then once they finish that, they go to the next step. And then the last step is booking your kickoff call. So please give me 2 days for sample posts. So what I like to do from this point is I then have all of this data that they've sent to me. I know everything. I've got everything I need to then go away and create some sample posts for this client. So that's something I personally like to do, is I like to have at least 2 sample posts ready for this client. So when I'm on the Zoom call, I can show them the graphics or the videos we've created. And then I can obviously say, like, what do you guys think of them? And if they say, yeah, that they're great, then obviously I know, like, our working relationship is great because they've seen the graphics that we're going to do for them, and they know exactly moving forward the level of what they're going to get. So I've basically checked everything off that I need to personally, and they can then book in a kickoff call. So it goes down to my calendar. They can book in their call. Let's say they go to book it in for, say that I obviously say give it 2 days. So if they book in a call for Saturday at 10:30, and that's literally the last part of the funnel, they go to the next step, and it's just some final words. And I'm just saying, thank you. You would have booked in your kickoff call, and I'm going to speak to you on there. Obviously, thank you for choosing to work with us. We're looking forward to starting our relationship. And then that's done. Does that all make sense?
Very efficient.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So like, that's why I'm so passionate about these things, because, like this took a lot of it's not a lot of work, but it's me having to go through. But you think I only had to do that once, whereas before I would have to go through like these 7 steps basically with new clients every single time I sign up a new client. And if you think about my service, my service as like a whole is like I'm working with busy business owners, right? So the whole reason that I've got a service that they want is because they're busy. So they don't want to spend 4 hours or something like that on a Zoom call with me, getting all of this information or sending me all of their logos. And then I go, but you haven't told me about your competitors, or you haven't sent me your logo. Like I had it when I first started. I signed up a client, and I didn't get all of the information that I needed till about 3 weeks into our relationship. And obviously they're paying me on a monthly basis. And obviously in terms of communication and stuff, it wasn't neither of our fault really, because I'd say, oh, you haven't got your logo. And then, 3 days had passed, and then he's gone, oh, I can't find my logo. And then another 3 days had passed, and he'd gone, oh, I need to get my logo off of this person, XYZ. And then it was 3 weeks. And then, I'm almost asking, like, they're obviously they basically lost 3 weeks out of the relationship essentially, because we've not been focusing on the actual service. We're focusing on stuff that we need from them. So yeah, obviously this is going to change completely for all of you guys, but if there is like a certain way that you do stuff, and obviously there is going to be a process that you walk new clients through every single time. We're going to lose the session again, 10 minutes. If there is a certain process that you take them through every single time, just take a step back and think, how can you automate this? How can you put in some work once that essentially means you'll never have to do it again?
So the timing is getting it all set up in the first place, but once it's all set up and done, it's there then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just got to personalise it for each customer.
And the thing is, like, with that sort of thing, it did take me long, but it's sort of like, okay, it took me long, but if I had to do that, if I had to do that every single time I sign up a new client, like, it just wouldn't be.
No.
It would not be efficient whatsoever. So since I started that, I could sign up 5 new clients a day and not have to do it. Like, obviously you'd still have to do a lot of work, but I could sign it up. If, say for example,
you've got the process in place.
Yeah. And if I had to physically get on like a 2-hour call every day to sign up new clients, it just wouldn't be possible. Cool. Is there anything you want to jump on before we finish? Because it's got 8 minutes left.
Yeah, I need to jump off now, but I really, really appreciate your time. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's incredible. It's like, wow.
Thank you guys. I'm glad
you enough to think about.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And we'll do another one on the following Wednesday. Is it Wednesday today? Thursday today, isn't it?
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, we could do another one on Thursday. What I will ask from you guys, if it's okay, I think I sent it to Jane the other day, but I've actually got like a little form that I've been sending to.
Yeah, I did send it back, didn't I? You got one.
Yeah. You sent it back, yeah. But it's just like a little form. Basically, just gives me a little bit of like information, so I can basically tailor the content that we're doing within these around, the questions that you actually have, rather than me just showing you things that I think are going to help.
Okay.
Yeah, it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Give you a bit to think about, Jane.
So
yeah,
Jane,
loads. Because
how are you going to implement some of that?
Well, I mean, I already have like a sort of like logo, sort of like questionnaire or advertising questionnaire that I send out to my clients.
Okay.
But the thing is, I guess with the whole BNI thing, and you'll all understand this, you do have to put quite a lot into relationships. Whereas I guess for you, this is all online. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes, you do have to invest quite a lot of time, and people like that, don't they, in BNI? I guess, whereas.
Do you mean as in like you personally like asking them, oh yeah, you want this with your logo, or? Yeah. But
I guess I'm offering this personal service, but at the end of the day, you can't do that,
No.
moving forward if you want to grow your business.
Well, and you'd be surprised that, like all of those screen recordings are still me. Like they're still me.
Yeah, no, you are amazing. You are so personal.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think that's where I'm going wrong. I need to, sort of.
Yeah. Well, just literally, like me personally, I'd just say, like, honestly, what I like to do, especially when you're in that sort of process, is really hard to do. But if you can literally get like a pen and paper, and it's a book that I read, and it's honestly probably one of the best books I've read, but it's all about like time management. And it's like, if you write down what you're doing every 15 minutes, it's going to sound really, really basic, but if you write down what you're doing every 15 minutes, and it's like, even if you're procrastinating for 15 minutes, or then, you're creating a logo for 15 minutes, and then you're still creating a logo for 15 minutes. I like to have that, because then when I done it for a whole week, right? And I can't say that I do it every single day. I'd be completely lying, but I done it for a whole week, Monday to Friday. And I had my working day in 15 minutes. And when you see that stuff in 15 minutes, like, okay, I was procrastinating for 45 minutes, and then I done, half an hour of like solid work, or then I done an hour of like Upwork outreach for me. So that's what made me see. I went, okay, so I'm spending 2 hours doing Upwork outreaches, where I can automate that. I can get someone else to do that. And then at this moment in time, I was looking and I was like, oh, I've spent 2 hours onboarding a new client, getting all of their information, getting, X, Y, Z, getting all of the stuff I need from them. And I thought, oh, so how could I automate that? I know, I'll record videos and then send them to a link, rather than me having to do it personally. And it's just small things like that. And every single day, I'm continuously trying to put a system or a software in place that's going to take that. And it goes back to like the content stuff. Like, when I first started doing it for clients, I would have all of their content, and I would personally get my phone and post their content for them every day. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense, because then if I have 10 clients, I'm posting.
You'll be on your phone.
Yeah. If I have 10 clients, I'm posting 10 pieces of content a day for all of these different businesses. I'm going to be on my phone for 4 hours a day. But if I use a scheduling software, then I can go and I can do all of that at once. So yeah, it's just little things that are gonna move the needle in the business, essentially.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible. And I think for me, I don't know if everyone else feels like that, but where we've been in shutdown or lockdown, I've never really done this video call really before. And now I just think it's the way forward, because.
And this is the thing as well. Like when I first started, like this whole thing is the first client I ever got, right, for social media management was online. It was through Upwork. And I got them on a Zoom call before I even really thought of this, and they was from New York. So the first client I ever signed for the business was from New York, which was like crazy to me. But then it also had me thinking. I was like, right, so why am I going to excuse me, because I've worked with local businesses. I love working with local businesses, but for me personally, I don't necessarily have to work with local businesses because there's all of this thing. But even me now, when I have a local business approach me and they're like, oh, can you pop down to the shop or can you come into the restaurant? I'm like, no. It just doesn't make sense, because even though like you're around the corner, obviously for some people I do, but I basically push the fact that I don't do like face-to-face meetings, because, you know, it's like, I'm going to lose an hour of my day traveling to you. You know, you've got to be there for an hour. It's like, why don't we both save each other's time and just jump on a Zoom call? So yes, and that is like a simple system that probably then also saves me hours of my day or my week, because I'm then not having to travel to wherever to meet someone. Obviously now, we haven't gone through that.
Yeah, I've been talking to people that I would never have spoken to normally.
Yeah.
You know, over Zoom because of logistics. You know.
Yeah,
and
for you two as well, in the jobs that you're in, you can then get clients from further afield, can't you? And it doesn't
no, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Okay,
for me, it don't work because I can't get a site on Zoom, but for you guys,
we're going to lose each other in a second.
We're going to lose each other. Yeah. Right, guys.
Really, thank you so much.
Thanks, Els.
I need you in my life, Olley.
Have a nice day, guys. Thank you. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.
See you guys.
Guys, thank you if you did make it all the way to the end of this video. If you did, I hope the information within the training helped you guys out. Please consider sticking around on the channel, hit that subscribe button, and of course turn the notifications on. This way you're going to get a notification every time I upload a new video, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next one. Peace.